Hi, so today I'm going over an SAT practice test 2, question number 29. So practice test 2, question number 29 from the College Board's official study guide, and it's the calculator part. So at question number 29, you're at the hardest level. And so it says, in the system of equations above, A and B are constants. For which of the following values of A and B does the system of equations have exactly two real solutions? Well, first you have to notice a couple of things. This is a line. That's a horizontal line going through the point 3. So, it's something like that. And this being raised to the 2 power is a parabola. So what they're actually asking us for is a time when this is happening. It's crossing. Now, the parabola could be going down as well, but they want it to cross, they want it to intersect in 2 places, and those would be 2 real solutions. But there's a couple other things that could happen if you think about it. You could have the line here at y equals 3, and it could be above it, and it would have no solutions because it doesn't cross. And actually, it could be below it, and the same thing. Or it could actually be touching it in one place. And so I actually decided that one way I was going to approach it was to think about what that B represents. So there's no X next to it, so that right there is my Y-intercept. So in looking at this, I looked at all of the B's, okay? And in this case, like in A, here's my line of Y equals 3. And the B is 2, and it's opening down. So the Y-intercept is 2, and it's opening down, and it's going to be like that. So I knew that that couldn't be a solution. B was 4, a positive 4, and opening down. It's going to be like that, and it is going to cross in 2 places. So that's likely my answer. But in thinking about this even further, like look at this. B is 3 and A is 4. So my Y-intercept is 3, okay, if you plug them in. My Y-intercept is 3, so I'm actually right here, and I'm opening up, and it's just wider. So that's actually going to have one solution. And then A is 2 and B is 4. That's going to give me Y equals 2x squared plus 4. My Y-intercept is actually above that line. It's up here at 4. And so that wouldn't work. So B is my answer. Now that's one way to attack this problem. I think the more complicated way is actually to plug in the numbers and set the equations equal to each other. So a system, one of the ways to solve is using substitution. So you could physically go through each number, so negative 2x squared plus 2, and solve and see what happens. So we subtract 2, and we get 1, and it equals negative 2x squared, and then we divide by a negative 2 here. Now when we do that, we get x squared equals negative 1/2. So if I go to try to take the square root, I'm going to get imaginary root here. I'm not going to get a real solution, which means that you're not going to have those 2 x-intercepts. So that's one way to go through this, but that might be confusing to you. This just means there's no x-intercepts. So you could go through that process, but going through it 4 times might take you a lot of time. So I think in this situation, thinking of the graphs and putting the values into this function kind of to see what's happening to the graphs was an easier way to solve the problem. Hopefully that was helpful.